Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Premanand. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayad Mudiraye Nashtaprayestu Avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistuke Yamsyanubhavam Akilam Sutisaram Ekam Adhyatma Devamatitir Satam Tamunnam Samsarina Karunayaha Purana Guyam Tambya Sasunamupayami Gurur Muninam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, The Creative Impetus, Chapter number 1, Text 32 and 33. I'll just read the text and then we'll go straight to this very long Jumbo plaksha salmase likusa krauscha saka puskaram sangyaste samparimanam purvasmaduttara uttaro yatha sankhyam dvigunam anena bahe samantatah upakliptaha. The names of the islands are Jambu, Plaksha, Salmali, Kusa, Krauncha, Saka, and Pushkara. Each island is twice as large as the one preceding it, and each is surrounded by a liquid substance, beyond which is the next island. Purport. The ocean in each planetary system has a different types of liquid. How they are situated is explained in the next verse. 33. Charo dekshura soda suroda grito dakshiro dadaha धीमंडो दशुद्धोदाः सप्त जलधयः सप्तद्वीप परीखा इवाभ्यंतर द्वीप समान एकैकस्येन यथानुपूर्व सप्तस्वपे बहिर्द्वीपेषु पृथक् परेत उपकल्पितास्तेषु जम्बाद्वीषु बर्हिस्मते पतिरानुव्रतानात् मजानाग्निधेस्म जीव्य यज्ञबाहो हिरण्यरेतो घृतपृष्ठ मेधातिथिभिः तिहोत्र संज्ञान यथा शंखै शंखेनैकैकस्मिन्ने बाधे पतिं विदधे. Chara, salt. Uda, water. Ikshu rasa, the liquid extract from sugarcane. Uda, water. Sura, liquor. Uda, water. Grita, clarified butter. Uda, water. Chira, milk. Uda, water. Dadimanda, emulsified yogurt. Uda, water. Shuddha udaha, and drinking water. Sapta, 7. Jaladhayaha, oceans. Sapta, 7. Dvipa, islands. Parikhaha, trenches. Eva, like. Abhyantara, internal. Dvipa, islands. Samanaha, equal to. Ekasena, one after another. Yatha anupurvam, in chronological order. Saptasu, 7. Api, although. Bahehe, outside. Dvipesu, in islands. Prithak, separate. Paritaha, all around. Upakalpitaha, situated. Tesu, within them. Jambu adisu, beginning with Jambu. Barhismati, of Barismati. Patihe, the husband. Anubratan, who were actually flowers of the father's principle. Atmajan, sons. Agnidhra idmajivva yagyabaho. Hiranyaritaha, Grita Prishtha, Midhatihi Tithi, Vitihotra, Samgyan, okay, named Agnidra, Idmajiva, Yajna Bahu, Hiranyareta, Grita Prishtha, Medhatithi, and Vitihora. It's okay. Yatha Sankhena, by the same number. Eka Ekasmin, in each island. Ekam, one. Eva, certainly. Adipatim, king. Vidadhe, he made. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The seven oceans respectively contain salt water, sugarcane juice, liquor, clarified butter, milk, emulsified yogurt, and sweet drinking water. All the islands are completely surrounded by these oceans, and each ocean is equal in breadth to the island it surrounds. Maharaj Priyabrata, the husband of Queen Barismati, gave sovereignty over these islands to his respective sons, namely Agnidra, Idmajiva, Yajnabahu, Hiranyareta, Grita Prishtha, Medhatithi, and Vitihotra. Thus, they all became kings by the order of their father. Purport. It is to be understood that all the dvipas or islands are surrounded by different types of oceans. And it is said herein that the breadth of each ocean is the same as that of the island it surrounds. The length of the ocean, however, cannot equal the length of the islands. According to Viraragava Acharya, the breadth of the first island is 100,000 yojanas. 1 yojana equals 8 miles. And therefore, the breadth of the first island is calculated to be 800,000 miles. The water surrounding it must have the same breadth, but its length must be different. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayan Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is really very beautiful, very complex, very divine, and very secret of all secrets. The knowledge of the Lord is filled in each pages of the book. So, in the midst of the confusion and misunderstanding that modern scientists have about the creation, and also in the situation where they do not know how this material world was created and who is the cause of this creation, or is there any significant cause behind it, or it is just automatically appeared, as they conclude, is completely broken, smashed into pieces, and given a solid information about everything that was going on in this universe. So Parikshit Maharaj has a desire to understand about this creation, and Sukadeva Maharaj is briefly explaining what is the purpose of this creation, why God created this unlimited material universe. Even though it is limited, but for our limit knowledge, our senses, it is unlimited. Many universes within this universe. Mandala, Bhumandala, Surya Mandala, Chandra Mandala, so many mandalas, like unlimited galaxies, stars, suns, moons, and all these multiple planets, subplanets, and everything is, it has a purpose. It was created for some reason, to facilitate the living entities so that they can understand the master, the original supreme creator, the supreme personality of God, by going through all this aprameya, immeasurable world. And it is very, very difficult to grasp from one point how it came to existence, how it will at some point how it dissolved and this get destroyed, and everything is very confusing in modern education. But Srimad Bhagavatam gives the complete description about it, and actually it is given to make the devotee think how great the Lord is, who can create such a great material universe, and it has unlimited facilities and unlimited living beings. And so many different desires are carried out by these living entities, and they are completely being satisfied at some level and trying to enjoy their senses with available resources in everywhere they live and whatever they desire. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita confirms that the spirit of enjoying mentality in this material world, no matter where you go, Abrahma Bhavana Loka, you might be traveling into higher planetary systems, go to heavenly planet, live there thousands of years, become great king of the planet, King Indra, and become great devatas, apsaras, beautiful women, beautiful, smart, intelligent people, Brihaspati, Sukracharya, all these great demon, very powerful demon, who can control all these devatas with their power. Krishna is even more powerful than them. That is the message. That's why in Vedas, mostly these demigods are glorified. Agni Dev, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all these great devatas are glorified. And then people have some idea how great these devatas are. Now when they understand God is even greater than them, that makes sense to the people, so that Vedas indirectly glorifying Krishna through the glorification, through the greatness of demigods. And Srimad Bhagavatam says, intelligent man should always look for something that is not available from top to bottom. You go to Patala Loka, you go to so many other downgraded lokas where we will hear more about the hellish lokas, hellish planetary systems, how people suffer or enjoy there, how they encounter with all these tortures, and how people like to upgrade themselves, go up. Look for something that is not easily available in all these places. The devotion of the Lord, Hari Bhakti, is not easily available, and always look for that. Try to find Hari Bhakti wherever you are, even if you are in the material world, in the earthly planet, or moon or sun, wherever we are. So intelligent people are looking for devotion to God because they have seen the creator behind the creation. They have understood the cause of this causes, all causes of this material cosmological manifestation, and they have also understood the purpose of this. And then to get out from this entanglement, all this is bondage for living being. All this expansion of these universes are simply bondage for living entities. They are trapping us within this globe. Just like an egg, inside egg, that little chicken like is inside closed. It develops within, and then as it grows, it start expanding, and then at some point that cells crack, and then it goes through the pain and suffering and struggle, and then you try to stretch and then come out from the cell and then walk around very happily like a little chick. We are similarly entrapped in these cosmological universes, and we are thinking we are happy, we are enjoying our life. Material world is beautiful, so much things are here. Kambasana is here, Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim, Kavitam, all these things are immensely available in this world, and then we are enjoying. So Kulasekhara, the great devotee of the Lord, has compared this material world as a marubhumi. What is marubhumi means? Guess, you are living, we all are living in marubhumi. What is marubhumi means? We are living here. Desert. Maru is the dead land. There's nothing, only sand everywhere. Sand all over, everywhere, no water, scorching heat, and lot of living being, especially some animal, if they live there, they run miles and miles in search of water. And sometimes they see mirage. What do they, mirage is correct word? Mirage, and it seems like a lot of water there. We see that while driving. If we go El Paso or Phoenix and the I-10, the road, because of the sun's light, the blacktop road seems like a nice, beautiful lake, pool, as if we go there and just stop the car and then swim there for a little bit. So this marubhumi, he says that this material world is like a marubhumi, and then he compared the devotion of the Lord Hari as a saroja. What is saroja means? Oasis is like a lake. Saroja means lake. Sarovar, Man Sarovar, you see Man Sarovar, Saroja is a lake, beautiful lake. And in that beautiful lake of the devotion of Lord Hari, it has water, filled that lake with water of rasas, different kind of rasas, unlimited rasas of the Lord. And in that lake, the waves of water is coming incessant, unstoppably, like not unstoppably, like without being stopped. The waves of the rasas, the water ocean in that saroja of the Lord Hari is flowing constantly, and they are very, very deep, fathomless, very deep, very deep. And he says that this material world is too much dry, too heat, too much anxiety here, so much desires. He says, I am completely exhausted by this heatness of this material world, and now I have dive deep into the ocean of Krishna's beautiful lake, that has given me a great relief from my burning material life. I have given it up. He says, I have, tells me he has given up. Kara charana saroje kantim netra mine. Kara means hand, charana means lotus feet of the Lord. Saroje, in this beautiful lake, you can see the beautiful hand and then lotus feet of the Lord. Kantim netra mine, and then there are beautiful fishes. They are compared to the beautiful netra, means eye of the Lord. Sramamushi bhuja bichi byakulam. And I was so much exhausted in this material world, and my tired, tired means what? I feel so tired means my tiredness. What is the word for fatigue? My fatigue. Thank you. My fatigue is gone now by diving deep into this beautiful lake of Lord Sri Krishna's devotion, filled with bhakti. Hari sarasi bihaya pipateja uja laugham bhava maru parikhinna. Maru bhava maru means this material world is like a desert, and parikhinna means I am so much frustrated here. Frustration. Klesam adya, this is filled with the klesam. Klesam means difficulties, sufferings. Adya tyajami, now today I give up. He is comparing to two lakes, one material pool. We hear about samsara dava nalalita loka. We know that this material world is burning forest fire. Now he says, now what is the solution? Where do I go after, while I am suffering here? Is there any place that I can go for relief? Yeah, there is a beautiful lake of devotion. You can go and deep dive, and you can be relieved forever from this eternal material fatigue. So, for one to understand this material world as a place of fault, is to realize this point is a very big thing. Unless one realize that this material world is a place of suffering, for him or her to come to bhakti is impossible. Like we go out and preach, see so many people, they are immensely enjoy this material world. Like people with a lot of money, doctors, engineers, computer sciences, scientists, or whoever businessman. Like we had a flow of people coming all over the world to make so much money in Tucson. At the end of the day, some of them were very happy calculating the money I made this much money. I increased my sale from last year's. Or some were not happy that, oh yeah, I lost my business this year. I even could not cover my flight tickets. Oh yeah, this year no good. They are always counting and then measuring their happiness in money. You know, the wealth that we are looking for, people, the whole world is running after the money, dhan, wealth. It has like 18 different faults. If you acquire some money, and if you are not devotee and you use like a karmi, then you gain this 18 faults after your money. All this greed arises from money, and then injustice comes from money, because you want to acquire, exploiting others, and then all this. There are 18 those things listed that one gain along with attaining wealth in this material world. And then how can one become happy with attaining all the faults? It's not possible. People are running after dhan, Janam. Janam means what? Followers? Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving opposite of it. But material people are running after dhanam, janam, sundarim, kavitam, running after people. I'm a great popular man. I have so much, followers in my life. Many people like me. Many people praise me. Many people listen me. Sundarim, we are always looking after beautiful things, a beautiful girl, beautiful man, everything else. This is always incessantly going on in this material world. People are always looking after that. Kavitam, we always like to hear appreciation. But, so, if we go deeply into these and understand that these things are maybe very, very attractive and very, very nice in the beginning, but if we go deep and dive and try to think, actually they are the cause of our misery, our suffering. People who had so much money, like great people who created their own island and did all kind of horrendous activities, how they ended their life, they committed suicide or they were killed, nobody knows. And those who enjoyed, now they are coming into justice. So somebody are arrested, somebody are fired, somebody are doing this and that, all kind of things. So this thing can only be understood by the mercy of sadhus. Because sadhu always, devotees, sadhus, the scriptures, they always discuss about this, how dirty place this material world is. Not physically dirty, but consciously, some in the long run. So when one finds that this material world is a dirty place, it's not a good place for intelligent people, then they will look for devotion, bhakti. So when we come to the bhakti in the devotional service, we hear a lot about these things. That is called preaching. Prabhupada always say that how dangerous this material world is. How this is like people, dogs and hogs, cats and dogs are fighting for something. How they are bad. Like, constantly preaching. Sadhus, they engage in chanting and dancing along with Sravana, Kirtana, Smarana. They discuss about this material world, how risky it is to live here and miss the devotion to God. So when these things are discussed among the devotees at all time, and slowly the person who is listening, his eyes start opening. Om Gyana Timrandasya, Gyananjana Salakaya. Slowly his mind start expanding and try to see. It's like awakening from a deep dream. Not last night, previous night, I was going in a very, very tough, high, difficult mountain. There is no good road, and you have to grab the rocks and then pass through. And there is every chance that you might fall. If you hit a little bit in your in the rock, then you fall down there. Very danger. And walking that long in the dream, we came in some place, then I open a rock. Rock was broken, and inside that rock there's so much gold inside. Completely yellow. And I said, this is gold. This is gold. And I collected so many rocks, and each rock I grabbed, it has gold inside. And when we were leaving that place and going away, then my gold was taken by somebody else. All the other people, they took everything. I didn't have anything. And as we were passing with that difficult road in the mountain, and there were beautiful orange garden, beautiful ripened red oranges were there. And then we were enjoying the oranges. But then I forgot about the gold, but it's still in my mind. I was missing that lost gold. So when I woke up, then that was just a dream. There was no goal at all. And my desire to be rich by acquiring so much gold remain as a dream. So this is what a devotee feel when they come in the association of devotees and start hearing constantly same thing over and over again. Then they start thinking, oh, yes, this material world is not a place. And then kama vasana is the best thing that people are running after. But then they start realizing that, oh my goodness, yeah, in order to enjoy, I have to spend my whole life in maintaining it for little enjoyment. This realization comes in the mind of a practicing bhakta, devotees. This is the benefit of sadhu sangha, association of devotees, or hearing from scripture on a daily basis. And slowly we realize that the relatives that I was thinking they are mine, actually they are not mine either. All of them are there for some selfish interest. These things slowly reveal to the devotees. And they say, Emanacharya, if I'm not wrong, Emanacharya says, I want to speed when I remember about sex life. Because they not only speaking verbally, they realized that it is really trouble in our life. Then one sees that this material world is like a maru, bhava maru. It's like we are discussing about Kulasekara's Mukunda Mala Stotra 8. And bhava maru is a heat, it's a scorching heat. Then when we come to this saroja of the Hari Saroja, then it's like a Koti Chandra Susitala. Lake is so cool, as if millions of Chandra moons are rising at once. Very, very cool. Have you realized that when we are in krodh, kama, krodh, anger, when we are like sexually motivated or we are anger or angry or anything, our body become very hot. When we are hot, we always remain in the tamaguna. We always lose our consciousness. We need to cool down. In material world, people think like so many things in their head. They have so much plan. In science, it is called a cognitive load. Have you heard about it? Cognitive load. Like I think, okay, I'm looking for my job. I also have to go to the temple and give a talk, and I have to go and pick my son. I have to cook. I think so many things in my head, and sometimes my head blast. I cannot control of my thinkings. So people in this material world, what do they do for getting relief from this cognitive load that they have? They drink, they sleep, they go vacation. What else they do? They go movie, Netflix, social media, YouTube. All these are that stop their overthinking, and then at least for momentarily give them relief from their burden in their head, brain. So the devotional service is exactly working as relieving package from this cognitive load that living entity has. When we come down here and deep dive and think and hear about the Lord and chant the holy name, we clear slowly we clear all these unnecessary thinking burden, stresses. So much stresses are relieved by practicing devotional service. So this is what called sense control means. Sense control, in the beginning stage, we are forcefully trying to stop all these activities that we are intending to do. But when a devotee realizes that this material world is really burning and everything that we do is really futile, then they voluntarily give up. That voluntarily giving up with knowledge is called real sense control. But when we forcefully try to stop, it means we want to do it, but we are told not to do it, so we are using our force against it. But in the beginning stage, that happened in everybody's life. But as we advance and we hear more and more realized, then you want to give it up naturally. So Krishna says, Raso Bharjam Raso Apyasya Param Drishtva Anuvartati. So this pool of Krishna's Saroja lake is filled with so much rasas that this material rasas become very pikka, is a pale, is a blonde with no taste. Blend. Thank you. Blend. Yes, it has no taste. But this comes when we constantly practice Krishna consciousness. With anything comes and we get disturbed and then we leave. So many people leave Krishna consciousness in middle and they go away, they don't find that rasas. But that rasas, in order to reach that ocean of rasas, you need to be a little bit tolerant and persistent in your practice. Ultimately, it will definitely leads us to that place. And when people are hot, like crazy, stressed, and they do all kind of nonsense activities. Some people, even being a devotee, they cause big harm to the devotee communities. Because they are not cool. They are not cool. Their head is not cool. What did Prabhupada say? Keep your feet warm and keep the head very cool. Only cool head can think about Krishna. But when you are burning in this desert of this material world and not trying to look for a solution into the beautiful pool of Lord Hari, then there is no way that we cannot be liking both material world and bhakti as well. We have to be fired up. We have to be crazy in this material world. And the formula of mathematics, craziness, madness is directly proportionate to enthusiasm in devotion. Unless we have that realization that this material world is not for us, it's not a good place, then our devotion cannot be accelerated. And this understanding comes from devotees association. And when we hear from the Bhagavatam about this gigantic cosmology, big material world, how the Lord, with a little tiny fragmental part of his energy, he creates for facilitating all these jivas so that they can come back to him. So when we do understand, then we can enter into the Rasa Lila of Krishna. We can go up to 10th canto and enjoy that moment, every moment. And when devotees are clean and purified by this process of devotion, and when like Radharani, Srila Rupa Goswami, he has mentioned something in Lalita Madhava in the drama book, that when Krishna was returning home with 900,000 of cows, and everything was like a dust storm coming there, and all the cows and Krishna was covered. They were not seen, but gopis could see Krishna. That means all the Gyanis, philosophical philosophers, all the Brahmas, even Brahma was confused because he thought, what is going on here? Krishna is in Tamaguna, he's playing, he's eating from other plate. This is, he cannot be God. But the pure devotee like gopis, they could see Krishna even when he was covered with the dust. So that is the stage a devotee attained when he develops love of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any questions, any comment, any discussion? Yes.
It seems in the material world it's very difficult to give up, like you were saying, we need to give it up, to surrender. So isn't it easier to dovetail more than giving up? But even in that dovetailing, it's you have to use the right strategy to make sure that you're not still having a cheating propensity within your dovetailing, because then because it's hard to just give up, but we can try to steer ourselves more,
Yeah, we can only dovetail when we understand this is not for my enjoyment and it is for the service of the Lord. In order to dovetail, we must be in knowledge. We must see the futility of this without the Lord. So dovetailing, that's what Prabhupada taught us, to dovetail everything in the service of the Lord. Yukta Vairagya Siddhanta, the principle, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought. Otherwise, there is no hope. But due to our conditioning, due to our selfish, we most of the time want to use everything for our own pleasure. We think we are dovetailing, but we are dovetailing with our own desire. So we need to be carefully watched in that link. Are we dovetailing it for his service, or are we doing it for our service?
I call that crochet.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Another hand. Shishikonitai ki.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nice class.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
From the internet. I wanted to address Chandrika's question. It's a good question. I want to make one point, is that Yukta Vairagya and dovetailing are not on an equal level. Because Yukta Vairagya is what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was doing. He was using everything for Krishna, wearing suits and cooking meat even for Krishna, not to offer, but to attract people, to attract the British governors.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he himself was severely renounced.
Yeah.
And so in that way, he was renounced and using everything for Krishna. Dovetailing means I have a material desire that I can't give up, so let me offer the fruit to Krishna. That's karma yoga. And that's also good. That'll purify us in time. One of the beautiful things is though, when we have a spiritual master, when you take shelter of a spiritual master, when you take shelter of the assembly of the Vaishnavas, we're all born with a certain guna and karma, and when we purify ourselves, that becomes more and more prominent. We become people are able to see what our guna and karma is. And then in the service of the spiritual master, we may use that for Krishna. Just like Arjuna, at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna was saying, happy are those Kshatriyas whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, for such fighting opens the doors to the heavenly planets. And so he's speaking of karma yoga, karma kanda type consciousness, and Krishna's elevating Arjuna. But then Krishna ultimately says that fight for me, surrender to me, because I want you to fight. And so when we take the order of the spiritual master and we act under that order, whatever we may be doing, whatever ashram or situation we may be in, and whatever enjoyment or non-enjoyment may come with that, then that becomes pure bhakti. And that's the mercy of the Vaishnavas. And with that, of course, there's immense amounts of hearing and chanting. I think in maybe Wednesday's class, I gave the example, that we're doing, the renunciate devotees seem like they're doing a lot of austerities, but at the same time, the Kshatriyas, they're living very rich, but at the same time, they're doing the austerity of having to chop people up with swords, which might be, it's kind of an austerity to chop someone's head off. I wouldn't want to do that, but yet, the Kshatriyas have to do it. So, but with that service comes, so much enjoyment. But we're getting nice prasadam living in the temple, so there's so many things.
Thank you so much. We learn about the difference between Yukta Vairagya and dovetailing things for service. That's really beautiful. Anything else? Damodar Prabhu, you have a hand?
I was just wondering, I know the salt water,
Yeah.
the ocean,
We have
it can rain, but do you think
these other oceans may not be within this earth. It is like a Bhumandala is like big, very huge, many planets together. So in some other places they have this ocean, like a Chirasagara when Mahavishnu lies in the,
But with the salt water, it evaporates and forms clouds and rains. do the other substances evaporate and form clouds? And does it rain milk or does it rain liquor? I don't know if that can be answered, but I was just sitting here wondering about that.
Yeah. Prabhuji, you explain.
No, I don't have an answer for that. I have another question.
Okay.
Does anybody want to answer that question? I don't think we have.
Similar, a related question. How do they not mix with each other? They're not in the same place?
There's a whole line of island between each one.
Yeah.
That's very huge. There's a huge, massive land between each ocean.
Okay.
Separated by land, you see. That's what he says here.
So we have a few options here. At least I think I do. It's on a whole nother plane. Can't understand it like he was mentioning, and hopefully maybe one day I'll have some realization or whatever. Or that's what some devotees do. Other devotees, they go, well, the closer you get to the sun, we got different parts of the solar system. Here we have salt water, and then you get closer, it gets a little more vapor. So vapor could be like the liquor or whatever, and things like that. And just kind of seeing it as like that, and then merging it, and then saying, well, this is a devotional perspective as opposed to the scientist perspective. And or some devotees say, no, this is exactly how it is on Earth, even though scientists and you can even and whatever science has found, they're just cheating us, and they don't. If you look at the things coming from the moon, the lasers and stuff. No, it's not doing that. You got, they're all cheating. So what perspective is are we supposed to take out of those three, or is there another one that I'm not considering that should be taken?
Anyone has any thought? Yeah. Prabhu.
Sariputta Prabhu spent much of his life, his work, reconciling the empirical universe with the higher dimensional perspective we get in the Bhagavatam. And I don't have much scientific aptitude, but he said that it's possible for both perspectives to have validity. You can have both things. With our just like we're on Earth, and so we have Earth senses and middle planetary systems, reach of consciousness. So we can only perceive as much as we've been allowed to, by our karma. But in higher planetary systems, they can see this. They can see the higher perspective. So that's all.
Upanishad answer is achintya khalau, is inconceivable. Here, another hand.
We spoke about this yesterday too. But just to say that the first thing that Shukadeva Goswami says when he starts describing Jambudweep is that it's inconceivable and that no one can understand it, but I'll describe it to you to the best of my ability. So with that understanding, I think, like I said yesterday, just for the people here again, we can see the tree as it's a bunch of cellulose, and there's water going up the tree through the roots via capillary action, and then there's a series of cells that are creating photosynthesis. You can see the tree that way, and that gives us that all those facts are true. Simultaneously, someone who has spiritual vision can see that this tree is actually a spirit soul full of knowledge and bliss, and that there's a soul in there that's come in contact with the mode of ignorance, and therefore it's taking a tree body. Both perspectives are true, but one perspective is favorable for our devotional service, one perspective is unfavorable. So when we look at the material world and when we hear these descriptions in the Bhagavatam, we can accept that we are living in a world where we have imperfect senses and that we're constantly unable to see things as they are. But when we accept that perspective, it doesn't actually change our reality. In fact, it enhances our devotional reality, enhances our ability to perceive Krishna. That's why, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said one should simply accept what the Vedas say as the absolute truth in that regard. So, and then just to show one last thing is that, there are yogis who can walk into the Himalayas and come out in other dimensions, and they can jump in the water and come out, in different places in the universe. And so from a higher perspective of consciousness, the way they perceive reality and the way that someone more conditioned perceives reality are different. So we accept the Bhagavatam because in the beginning, we can't see Krishna. We don't know anything what God looks like. I heard about God my whole life, as long as I remember. I never knew what God looked like. But we accept that God is this blue cowherd boy playing the flute. But we don't know that until we, start to practice Krishna consciousness. Then we begin to know for certain God is a blue cowherd boy playing the flute.
Thank you. But we're talking, if I can just elevate this a little, or escalate it, or whatever, is we're talking about a tree, different ways to see a tree, but one is saying there's a tree, and the other one's saying no, there's no tree. So there's definitely mega contradictions there. Like, for example, we have the yogurt water. There's such things called bacteria. If you have a pot of yogurt out there, you're going to have a big mess in a couple weeks. So things of this nature, or like there's only one sun, you can easily perform scientific experiment to see that those things coming from the other things that appear to be suns have certain light, so forth, that suns have, that moons don't. Things of this nature that, it's like there's a tree in one side and there's no tree. So, you can't really merge the two, and from my perspective. So, yeah. So I was just wondering, what do we do at that point? What is the way you think that Krishna would like us to do at that point?
He likes us to serve him at all point.
Yeah.
Either we, with all these confusing things, keep serving me. That's the best for you. That's what Krishna says. That's why he says, Sarvadharman Parityaja. Okay, Prabhu, go ahead. He revealed that Bhakti Prem at the end of Bhagavad Gita, just to make you ready, enter into the Bhagavatam. He did not talk about Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Saranam Braja at the end, and okay, come on, go and join me here in the ocean of service. One day this confusion will be eradicated.
So I also
I do not know, Prabhu. That's why. All right.
I also come from a scientific background and a spiritual orientation also at the same time. And I'm a very good scientist. I'm very thorough. I really understand scientific process and engineering and all that stuff. And these things are compatible. The spiritual perspective and the scientific perspective are compatible. And they augment each other also. If I'm a scientist, I think I'm better at understanding spiritual level stuff, and vice versa too. We can use our spiritual understanding to understand the material world very deeply and realize how miraculous of a creation it is, which just everyday people going to the office and home and watching movies and stuff, they don't have that depth of appreciation of the creation. So I would say if you think that there's a contradiction between them, just meditate on it. Just relax and let it soak in. Just let it soak into you, and it will eventually go together. It'll merge together.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hari Bol.
I always thought when I heard about the ocean milk, I always thought, man, that must smell terrible.